Hey guys, Jeff from Home Renovision here, and today we're doing a consumer advocate video. We're discussing which one of these vinyl luxury plank floorings do I prefer the most. Is it this one or this one? We're going to talk about all the options on the marketplace and how you can avoid buying a bad product thinking you're getting a good deal. Let's jump into this. All right, so before we get into all the nitty-gritty, let's just break this down. What is vinyl flooring? Because everybody's got a different answer. Basically, it is a vinyl finish with a plastic or a wood plastic core. It's either solid plastic or wood plastic mix, okay? So that's where the WPC, SPC rating comes from. It has to do with what the flooring is made of. Now, you need, first of all, to understand that the idea of this being a waterproof floor, there is some validity to that, but if you're putting this in a basement on your concrete and you don't have a moisture barrier, you're in trouble. Especially if you're using the WPC, because wood is still organic, and organic makes musty, mildewy smells. So if you're going to be putting this in your basement, make sure you get the solid core, the SPC flooring. With that out of the way, why in the world did they make this stuff? It's a great question. I'm going to answer it right now. Traditionally, the market has got just a few qualities of floor, right? We have carpet, we've got a vinyl sheet good, and that's changed over time. So the vinyl that was in the market used to be on a big roll and it was glued in place. And then they've adjusted that, so now you can buy your vinyl in a loose lay format as well. It's got a thicker, heavier backing, and you can just cut it to fit in a space. And that's still a great option for a lot of folks that are out there watching this video. We're gonna show an install on that soon, but it's a great option for you if you want a waterproof floor that's easy to install. The difficulty there is there's zero room for making a mistake during your installation process. So you better be real comfortable with what you're doing, because one wrong move and you have to throw the whole sheet out. You don't just have to throw out one single plank. So the idea of this plank flooring, it came as a competitive option to the wood laminate flooring. So this is a laminated vinyl, okay? You can take a look here and you will see generally these products come in 3 layers. I'll show this one. This one really shows it well because they made the layers different colors. What you have is a wear layer, and then there's this really thick section here. They're calling that part of the wear layer, but the reality is it's not that thick. As soon as you get through the very thin surface on this, it starts to all look black like that and it'll look like junk. So that's not actual wear layer. There's a core and then there's a part on the bottom. And generally that's designed for one of 2 things. One, it's either designed to be soft or it's designed to be rigid for strength. There's different ways that this floor is manufactured to solve different problems. So you have to make sure that you understand what problem it is you're solving before you choose your floor. Now, there are different kinds of consumers, right? So some of you are going to go to the store, you're going to see a wall of vinyl options, something like this. And you're going to go, oh, that one would look perfect. And generally speaking, in a lot of situations, you're right. You can just pick the color that you want. But there are performance issues here, there are quality issues here, and it's worth it to understand what those issues are so that you can navigate and get a good value. Now, before we get going, let's talk about the benefits of vinyl flooring. 1, yes, it's water resistant. Sometimes it's even waterproof, okay? Some of these locking joints are so tight and the vinyl and the plastic that's in them actually repels the water. It is waterproof up to a certain amount of time that water sits on that floor, which is awesome. And it was really good that way. You can install that in a bathroom. In times past, you didn't have a laminate floor as an option in a bathroom. And I know a lot of people have put that old wood click together wood floor laminate in a bathroom, and you've all experienced the same thing. It causes rot and stink and it's disgusting. You can't use that product there, but this one you can, all right? The other reason they invented this is to go in basements, because there's a lot of houses that don't have waterproofing foundations or vapor barrier under the concrete when they pour the slab. And if you use a wood laminate in a basement like that, you have the same problem. Water destroys that wood laminate. And they've tried to make the cores, water resistant or mold proof. They've put in microbiome, fungicide, and moldicide, and all that does is just slow down the inevitable destruction of the floor. It's not a 25-year floor, it's a 5-year floor. So they made this stuff to replace the application of putting a click-together do-it-yourself flooring in a basement, okay? That's why it was made, so that you don't use a product that's going to self-destruct in a basement or other wet areas. Now, Having said that, it's also a great option in a lot of other rooms now. Because let's face it, it has the best wear layer that's on the market. This stuff wears better than hardwood. Yeah, I said it, all right? This product here will last longer than hardwood flooring. End of discussion. And if you don't believe me, then put your comment down below, all right? We can have this conversation, but I'm telling you right now, I've been renovating a long time, and I've been in houses that have got vinyl flooring from the 1940s, and that stuff is still in better shape now than hardwood that's only 2 years old. All right? And you can take that to the bank. So when it comes to vinyl, the durability is not questioned, all right? It's a great product. The question is the application of a vinyl plank good for you? And this is where we run into some of the drawbacks, okay? So we know it's good in wet areas, we know it's great for durability, we know it's DIY friendly, but now you gotta consider, well then why are there so many choices? And not just in color. There's a lot of choices in the design, in the locking system. Now, generally speaking, even a few years ago, all the vinyl was very smooth and didn't have a lot of texture to it. Now it's coming really embossed. There's all kinds of grain. It looks like real wood. So the quality as far as the finish has gone way through the roof, which is nice. But what about all the thicknesses? Why do they make them all like this? And I think most of the answer is found in, well, let's do the comparison, okay? Here's all the different thicknesses. Now I went out and I went shopping at the Home Depot and the Lowe's, and I grabbed their products that are their flagship products, okay? So we're gonna compare Home Depot and Lowe's side by side here, but you're not gonna know what they are until the very end. Fair enough? We have a 4mm product, and it goes for $2.99 a square foot. Now I know that might sound expensive depending where you live in the world. I live in Canada, okay? Proud to be Canadian, which means all of our stuff is more expensive. So where you live, it's, hey, my stuff isn't $2.99, it's okay. It's about comparatively speaking. Your changes in price point are gonna be relatively the same, all right? So we're gonna call it $3 for 4mm. This product is a little thicker, ooh, and they're charging $3.49. That's a lot of difference, right? That's 50 cents a square foot. That's a big change for just a little bit of extra vinyl. Is the locking system better? I don't know. We'll talk about all that in a second. Next one over, we got a 5mm product. Again, same price. Well, is that better than this? It's the same price. Is it just thicker and cheaper? All these questions start hitting your mind, right? Then there's this product here. It's a 5.5mm, and it's basically the same price, $3.50. Right? Everything from 4.2 to 5.5mm is the same price. That's amazing. And then you go up to 7mm. This one is $3.60. Just a hair more, right? Basically the same price point. And then there's this bad boy over here. It's a 7.5, and it's $5.30. Wow, that's really something. That must be like a Cadillac of floors or something. Let's break this down because there are two distinct groups of flooring here, all right? Good and garbage. Okay, so first of all, one of the first rules of shopping is this. If there's a lot of variation in the thickness of the same kind of product, all right, let's just move away from the ones at the bottom, all right? These are so thin that these locking systems, I don't know how they expect them to stay together. I've seen people try this before, they install it, it looks good until it's like overnight. And then the next day they walk on it and it starts coming apart because there is no locking joint here. These are more like set together, okay? Not a great choice. And I would really just say, let's not worry about them. They're not even in the game. If you're shopping for flooring, start at 5mm as a bare minimum. It's the only way you're gonna get a thick enough piece of vinyl that they can actually incorporate all of the grooves and dents necessary so that it has a locking joint, okay? So this is where you gotta start. Now, let's talk about who are these. Well, this one's found at Lowe's. This is their cheap product, okay? And this one's found at Home Depot. That's their cheap product. Now, if you're price shopping only and you want just a cheap floor, Lowe's has got the best cheap floor. Is that even such a thing? The best cheap floor? Anyway, I'll leave that with you. Now, once you've gone, and let's be honest here, okay? At $3 a square foot, if you have a room that's 10 by 12, it's 120 square feet. If you want to go buy the cheapest floor in town to save $60, go right ahead. But you're going to be really disappointed with the outcome. Now, if that $60 is that important to you, then, you know, I understand. But I'm not recommending it, okay? I'm going to suggest that you cook chicken and rice 2 or 3 more times instead of ordering pizza, and then buy a real floor. Just saying. We start getting into other quality products here. There's something that you're going to see. Let's take a look at the backside. Okay, so this one is a Stainmaster product. This is a Lowe's product as well. Not bad. It's got this interesting textured core, very similar to this one. This one's got some sort of an underpad on it. This one's got an underpad on it. That's interesting. Now, this is not an underpad. So let's talk about these two first. These two don't have underpads, okay? And the reason for that is every one of these floors, regardless of what they're doing, needs an underpad. These two floors are sold being really super thick. 7 millimeter it says, right? 7.5. Wow, there's not much of a difference. Barely catches your nail. But part of the thickness is the underpad. They're including that in the thickness of the flooring, which is a lie. Because everything else on this shelf is being compared vinyl to vinyl, vinyl to vinyl. Vinyl with underpad, ooh, we're so thick. It doesn't make it any better. At the end of the day, these products are almost exactly the same thickness as this one. All right? You also still need to buy an underpad for these. You can't say, oh, we got an underpad, it's good enough. This is so thin, it's not going to do nothing because underpad has 2 values to it. Value number 1 is for sound transmission control, right? Number 2, there's supposed to be a vapor barrier in there. Number 3, it's because floors are dirty. And when you install your flooring, you're going to have little chunks of dirt and sand and whatever. And having a thicker underpad underneath gives the ability for a piece of dirt to get embedded in that underpad and not affect when you're walking on it. You aren't going to hear that crunching sound. No crunching sound means quality floor install. If you install this, you're still going to get a crunch sound. You got no sound transmission and no vapor barrier. So, do you put that in your basement? I'm just saying. Now, if we're to talk about these products now and include the cost of underpad, okay, they're almost all the same price here, except for this one. But it's trying to sell you with the underpad. So you can't say, oh, that's that price plus underpad, all right? Because even with underpad, and if you buy it at the local store, they're gonna sell you an underpad 60, 70 cents, almost $1 a square foot for underpad when you go to Home Depot and Lowe's. It's a complete ripoff, don't do it. I'll tell you where to shop for that in a minute. But you can get an underpad, this one, the one that I'm using in the demonstration, for 30 cents a square foot. And it's 10 times the underpad they're selling at that store, okay? If you're gonna buy one of these flooring, even if it has an underpad, you still gotta buy this. So don't fall into that trap of, oh, and I'm gonna add the $1 a square foot. Well, then the reason this one is $5.30 a square foot is because there are people out there who will do this. They'll go, okay, here's all my price point. That's cheap. That's middle, that's average. That's expensive. There's always a certain percent of the population that'll buy this one just because it costs the most money. And they know that, all right? And Lowe's will say, oh, we have the most expensive, it's the best floor in town. Whatever, it's still vinyl. There's really no difference between this one and this one and this one. All right? Yeah, I'm gonna move that one out of the way. I'm not a big fan of that. This locking system is a little weak. And it's really soft. Like, I don't like a plank that's that soft. I just feel like if there's any imperfections in the floor with this plank, it's gonna go like this and the joints are gonna open up. So I don't like a core that's that soft. What we're gonna do now is show you the vinyl flooring and the biggest problem you're gonna have when you're installing this stuff, okay? And here it comes. We're gonna take a couple of these boards and we're gonna link them together and show you how well the locking system works. All right? As you lay these things in on an angle, okay, you hold them tight together and you set them down. Okay? They somewhat lock together and they get a seamless looking joint, right? Okay, now here's the problem. If your floor isn't perfectly flat, and this happens all the time, okay, you'll have floor joists that are dimensional lumber instead of engineered or on concrete, and you have a curve now. And so over time, when you're pushing and walking on these floors, these tend to open up Just a little bit. It's not doing it here in this demonstration, but okay, so we get all this movement. Wow, that's actually holding together really well. This is actually pretty good stuff. This is supposed to be a really simple demonstration how easy this pops out, but here we go. See, I'm half a millimeter off. If you have too much deflection, all right, and you get to that point, it will separate. Does that make sense? Okay, like even try to put it together on an uneven surface. You can't do it, right? One end's always popping out of the other. Oh, I got that end. Oh. Oh. This is the inevitable thing that drives you crazy when you're doing the install. They come in such long planks, it's hard to lock the whole thing in together. That's if your floors aren't even, okay? If they're even and nice and flush, if you've got engineered floor joists, sorry, then this works together real well. There you go. Oh, oh, oh. A little love tap with the mallet, right? Lock that joint. That's all you need. Now, that's for the good joint. So let's just have a quick recap moment, all right? You get what you pay for, generally speaking, right? Don't buy the one at the bottom of the end. Don't buy the one that's overpriced. It's not going to perform any better for you. You're really left with this. Now, at 4.2 millimeters, my recommendation is it's just too thin. The locking joint isn't going to work. Now you get up to this one, Stainmaster selling at Lowe's. Huh, not bad. The price point is right, okay? It's comparable product as far as the vinyl is concerned in all three of these. It doesn't have an underpad, but you need one anyway. This product, okay, doesn't have an underpad, has a great locking system, great value, all right? It's also at 5.5 mil, which is a lot thicker. Now the funny part is, there's a huge difference in the weight of these products. This one, it's more plastic than vinyl. You know how I know that? Vinyl's heavy. You need to know this. They never put the weight on the box. But this one is only half the weight of this one. Okay, now we're back down to these two. Now, it's really tough to do the weight test here because it's pretty comparable. This one's still heavier by a long shot, all right? Even though this claims to be 7 millimeter, all right? They're about the same price. They both need an underpad. Here's where we're gonna separate the men from the boys. This product versus this product. These are the two I was holding up in the beginning. Now, you'll see that they come in different widths. This has got a lot more color, a lot more texture, designed to look a lot more wood. Don't be deceived. They come in all kinds of different color variation options, okay? The biggest question we have here is, which one of these is going to perform the best over time? All right? They both have a very similar core, very similar standout, very similar weight. Yeah. But here's the biggest difference, okay? The product that they're selling you from Home Depot is this one. All right, now watch this. You see this layer here? This tiny light gray on the outside? So you got a tiny light gray and then you got this dark gray, okay? They're trying to sell you that these two layers together are what's called the wear layer. Those are both solid vinyl, okay? And then you're gonna have a vinyl plastic core, more vinyl than plastic, which is why it's nice and heavy. And they got this little underpad action going on, but it doesn't mean anything. This product here, I don't know if you can see that difference. Back to back. Okay, back to back. That little gray line versus that thick silver line. It's really hard to see on camera, but this product here has twice the thickness on the wear layer. Now, if the price is the same, and the weight is the same, and the locking system is the same, and the core is made the same, and they both need an underpad and the same price, the only thing left to judge a product by is how thick the wear layer is. And this has the thickest wear layer on the market at this price point. Now I'm telling you right now, if I'm going to higher than $3.50 a square foot on a floor, I gotta really have a good reason to do that and stay with vinyl. That other product that was up at the what was it, $5.50 a square foot? At $5.50 a square foot, I can get engineered flooring, hardwood, right? I can get hardwood plank. I don't need vinyl. Now, if you are looking to finish a basement or a bathroom and you got a wet area, $3.50 a square foot will do the job, it'll do it great. Don't fall into the trap and buy a more expensive floor for no reason at all, okay? It's just a waste of money. And if you're somewhere else in the house and you're gonna put in flooring and you're looking for good value, as soon as you go higher than $3.50 a square foot, you got options, right? Maybe vinyl's not the right product for you. But if you're looking for vinyl flooring and you need one of these two, I'm gonna suggest go with the best wear layer on the market. And guess what? This is Home Depot, LifeProof, decent product. And if you need to buy this and it's gotta be somewhere convenient and you're in a hurry or you don't have time to order this one online from my store, that's right. I partnered up with a distributor who's bringing this product in and they're making it available. It used to be over $4 a square foot. This one has a special discount attached and we have the information in the video below. You can buy it from us and help support our channel. Just a tiny little bit, all right? The point is this, if you can't get this or you need it in a hurry, LifeProof from Home Depot is actually a great product on the market. But before we go, let's talk about the underlay, because this is where you run into your problem. So you go to Home Depot and you're like, well, Jeff said that the Home Depot product was good. So I'm gonna go there to buy my flooring, right? Hang on a second. Because then here comes the problem. No, I'm not gonna get my money back. I can't return this, but this is gonna go straight in the garbage. This is the crap that they're selling you for an underlay. Okay? We're gonna keep that because that's very important. And we'll cut off a sample. Dear Lord. Straight to the garbage. All right. So here's the underlay options. Wow, that's impressive. They got some great marketing on this. So here's this bubble wrap sheet I'm talking about, right? It's got the two-sided tape going on here. So you can tape one layer over the next. It's nice and sticky, right? They got little bubbles on here for impact. This is designed to be the cushioning effect. So if you have dirt in the floor, those bumps all collapse, fine, whatever. Now here you go. This is where we're gonna get into reading the underpad. A 3-in-1, wow, that's awesome. So it has a vapor barrier, yes. Plastic sheet, good. Can be used with all brands of floating, wood, engineered, and laminate flooring. Of course, it's just plastic and bubbles. It's not gonna hurt anything, right? Superior sound dampening. We'll see that in a second. Allows airflow to prevent trapped moisture. Really? If you need airflow to prevent trapped moisture, this is not the product for you, first of all. You need to put down a subfloor system. We have a video on that. We'll link it over here. You've got to have a proper subfloor system for airflow. Any idea of making a claim that this is going to solve your problem if you're putting it in a basement that doesn't have a vapor barrier, you're dreaming, all right? You're guaranteed a problem. Treated with microban to inhibit the growth of bacteria and mold and mildew. Because they're trying to tell you that you can put this direct on your concrete. They're gonna run into problems. So they treat it with microban to help to solve the problem that they're causing. If your subfloor needs microban, there's something wrong with your installation. Okay? You shouldn't be putting products on the floor that need microban to protect them. That's the problem. Ideal for use over radiant heated floors. If you say so. Thermal insulation. They put an R rating on here. Look at that, 0.39. All right, hang on a second. I got a piece of paper here. I'm gonna put this down underneath my flooring. It has an R value of 0.50. to even put an R value on that paperwork is a joke. There's no R value, all right? That's just stupid. Even air has an R value. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. So these are the big numbers. They're marketing here. All right, they're saying, oh, it's got this great sound deadening ability, right? And the sound transmission of 67. That's pretty impressive. Right up into the point where you read the fine print. And it says, in order to qualify for 67, because remember, sound rating technology, the whole transmission, it's all about the whole assembly. Sound transmission class is all the assembly of the whole floor. And what they're saying is, this underpad, in conjunction with 6 inches of concrete with a suspended drywall board ceiling, gives you the 67 STC. Raise your hand if you've got a 6-inch concrete floor in your house with a drywall ceiling underneath it. Go ahead, anyone? Anyone? Maybe you live in an apartment, right? And you're thinking, oh, that's for condominiums. Do you know the standard for concrete pour in North America is 7 to 8 inches, not 6? And a lot of these condominiums don't even put drywall on the ceiling and the unit underneath anymore because they like that whole, rustic loft look. So what they're trying to tell you is, don't worry about the fine print. Just read STC 67. It sounds like really impressive, okay? This crap is 70 cents a square foot before tax. All right? Garbage. This stuff here, this is a product that you can buy at 30 cents a square foot. Actually rated to be installed in condominiums. Because if you do live in a building like a condominium, you've got to have an underpad that actually meets a certain rating. Now, you're not going to find that at Home Depot or Lowe's. They don't sell it. All right? You've got to go and Google for a wholesale flooring supply store. If you want a real quiet floor, or actually, I'm staying corrected. I was in a store when I was traveling down south called Floor and Decor. Those people got it right. Okay? Big shout out to this whole store. I actually love the place. It's kind of a crossover between wholesale and retail. They got the entire Mapai line. They had some great quality vinyl flooring, which I don't have sampled here today. But if you are in the market for vinyl and they do sell in your area, they're like Florida, Georgia, Texas, a little more East Coast. They're working on expansion. But over the next few years, don't be surprised to see them in every city in North America because they got the math figured out. They're putting a quality product at a good price and putting demonstrations on the floor for you so you can compare different products. I love the place. So cheers to you guys, because you make shopping easy for a consumer. But like I said, you need to get the right sound transmission rating in the underpad, okay? Or your floor is illegal. And if your neighbor complains that the floors are too noisy, they'll call the superintendent up. The superintendent will be like, hey, nice new floor you got there. Can I see the product label for the underpad? Guess what? If you put the wrong stuff down, he's going to give you a work order to have you change all your flooring. Wow, that would suck, wouldn't it? Anyway, here's the deal. The sum total of it is this. Guys, you get what you pay for, okay? And you pay relative to where you shop, right? So if you're gonna buy at the local box store, my recommendation would be between Home Depot and Lowe's, go with the Home Depot. Their flooring is good, but then you gotta go somewhere else to buy your underpad, okay? They had a couple of other options. They seemed really exotic, but really expensive. The only stuff they're selling over there is the stuff that has the biggest margin. They're selling bubble wrap at 60 cents a square foot. It's probably worth 2 or 3. They're making a killing on that stuff, all right? And remember, there is no such thing as building code for underpad in residential units, so they get away with selling that crap. So the flooring is great, the underpad is garbage, but if you're looking for the best of both worlds, like I said, you can check out our site, homerenovationdiy.com, and go shop with us. Go to Hardwood Global, okay? In that, they have the flooring, they have a quality underpad, very similar to this. They can take good care of you. They can ship all over North America. Everything's been reinstated, so it's a good deal. It'll help support our channel a little bit. Pennies a glass, but it all helps, right? And you get great value. Best wear layer in the industry as far as I can tell. And if anything changes, then we'll make sure that our supplier changes the product they're bringing to the market. But right now, it's the best thing we can find. Now, real quick, I wanted to show you one other thing about these floors, because everybody is talking about, you know what, I'm just gonna show you these floors, how they work, in case you haven't seen this. And if you aren't familiar with how to install this stuff, we'll click the card up here. We got an installation video. We'll put the link in the description of the video as well, because not everybody can see the card when the video shows. You just take a utility knife, flip it over, and snap the stuff, okay? That's that easy. Now, yes, and for every other kind of cut, you can use regular woodworking tools. Treat it like wood. Jigsaw, table saw, skill saw, chop saw. This stuff is amazing because it cuts without making dust. It doesn't do a fine dust, okay? That's one of the other benefits of it. Now, when you're putting it together, you'll lock the joints and you'll get this huge ridge. And the way we install that is with this mallet. Buy a rubber mallet, $6. Okay? Now that's installed. And if over time, like let's say a couple years from now, you see a little bump, just grab your rubber mallet and give it a shot. You'll be fine. All right? Anyway, the only other thing you're going to need to know is how to work around your doors. Now, I had to buy this. I picked this up off of Amazon the other day because it was like, I keep on getting this advertisement in the videos. Have you ever seen this advertised yet? Oh, it's great for contours, you know, oh, sorry, here, let me do this. It'll match any shape and then you can trace it out and cut it. And yeah, it does. We've been using this tool forever on the industry. These little metal fines here are half the size. So if you're looking for precise cuts around your doors and tile, this is a much better deal. You can buy it at your local Home Depot. It's like a $6 tool, okay? Now, if you're gonna do exterior work with like stone and you're cutting your decking around stone, this would probably work. But this tool does the same thing, okay? It's very, very precise, all right? Great little gizmo. You'll find this in the aisle where they have all the measuring tools and levels and all the really fine detail carpentry tools, okay? So it's not a big secret to figure this out. It's normal in the industry. This is not a new solution the world has been waiting for. It's been around for the last 50 years as far as I can remember. But they are packaging it and advertising it as a miracle. So if you want one, feel free to get one, but make sure you use our Amazon link in the video description if you're gonna shop there. Again, help support our channel. We get a little bit of a kickback every time you guys shop there and use our Amazon link, and we'd appreciate that. Now, the only thing left to do in this video is figure out, oh, wow, it's not hard to get apart. That's probably a good joint. Yeah. All right. So it comes down to this. Home Depot or the stuff that I'm selling on my site. I think this wins. This is why we put it there. I don't think Lowe's has a good quality product at a reasonable price, so they're not in the running, all right? So listen, enjoy your shopping. Let us know if information like this is helpful to you. Hit the like button, okay? We would like to do more of these comparison products. I don't have a whole lot of products on my website as of yet. As we find great deals for you and we can pass along a deal, then we will add it. But it's a little slow going process. Hey, now listen, if you guys are a fan of getting information in this kind of format where I can compare different products that are on the market and I can give my recommendations based on all my years of experience, then hit the like button, let us know. And we will do more of these kinds of videos where I can compare different products and then put in the comment section what kind of products you'd like us to compare, all right? We've already done a video comparing insulation and that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed all your feedback on that, okay? But listen, let's get this done. If you have questions about should I be using vinyl, is my house a good fit for vinyl? Should I use it in my basement? Is my basement okay? Do I need this? Do I need that? I know there's a million questions. There's no such thing as one size fits all. No such thing as one product for every situation. Every house is very unique based on its age and the geography and all kinds of other factors. If you need help sorting all that out, then consider joining our membership program, all right? For a small fee every month, you get access to us through email, and we also have some new live phone-in live shows. We do a couple of hours twice a month. Those are awesome, and I would encourage you to join the membership program because a little bit of knowledge goes a long way to saving you money, all right? And that's our goal here at this channel, is to help protect you from making bad decisions and having successful results with your renovations. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Now listen, we've got a lot of other videos similar to this. We call it our bench series. We're gonna have a link up here in the video. You can check that out, all right? We love bringing you information that helps you be very successful. You're your best contractor on your job, so get all the tools and information that you need to be successful at it. We'll see you again soon.